Hello gamers, it's SoftKitty99 and today we're in the Minecraft Creative Builds world at the edge of my Builder Town area, and we're trying to connect the Builder Town area to our little miniature beach getaway place at the edge of town. And so we're going to be building here a playground. So we started off with the basic framework and we're going to fit the playground to this rather unusually shaped patch of ground that we've got here. So if you look at the individual items, and then you can adjust the layout of where they are in your own playgrounds to match the space where you're building yours. And of course, feel free to add anything of your own and to adjust anything that I build to fit your space. So today I think I'm going to start by building us a couple of benches for the parents. And I think the first thing we're going to add is going to be a seesaw. So to build that, I've grabbed oak stairs and oak slabs, polished andesite slab and the polished andesite stairs. And I've also grabbed a dark oak fence gate because I forgot to add a fence gate to the space that I left here for access into the playground. So which number's that? Number 5. So let's add that in, and I'm using a different colour so that you can easily see where the gates are. Now right next to this you've got a small space here where I think we should add a little seat for parents. So along there we've got a seat, and then I think I'm also going to add another one right there. So the parents now have got somewhere to sit while their kids are playing. Now how much space are we going to need for the seesaw? I think we're going to build the seesaw along in this direction. Is that going to work well? Because if I build it side to side, it's not much space, is there, to add it, so it'll be quite short. And it might work, but it would be very close to the fence, and if you wanted your parents to help you be pushed up and down, then you're probably not going to feel terribly happy about it. So we're going to start with the so we want a space for the parents to sit, and then a space for them to push, and then we're going to want at least 2 to the side. So this block here is probably the one where we're going to build. So then you've got 2 spaces for the actuals, or do we want 3 spaces? No, I think we want to go one further. Right, what I'm doing is 1 space for the parents to sit, 1 for a parent to push, then 1, 2, 3 for the length of the seesaw, then the pivot point is going to be in the middle here. So I want to start on this block, and what I want to do is add stairs at either side of that middle block, so it looks like the seesaw is going to have a really firm base, and then I want you to come up by 2 in the middle. So it could be a block, but I chose to use a slab. And then on the top of that, what I want to do is use, if I can find the right block, the oak slab. Right, that's not going to work, it's too tall. So we go 1, and then we want to come out by 1, 2, 1, 2. See, so this is now 5 long. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what I would really like to do, this could be really awkward to do though, is put mark blocks down here so that we can then use the seat block outwards like so to make seats, and then if we knock out the block underneath, we have what I would class as a seesaw that actually looks quite substantial under the bottom. Now I know it looks more like a plank of wood, but I think that is the best that I can think of as a design for the seesaw. That's my best attempt at a seesaw. Let me know if you come up with something better than that yourselves, but I kind of think that that actually does work as an actual seesaw area. There we go. So don't forget to leave at least a couple of blocks here, space for people to come around. So that's the first item added to my playground, and I think we'll add another bench over here. So where did that go in relation to the seesaw? So one block further away from the seesaw. So 1, 2, 3 like that. So it's all neatly matched in positioning, see? So there you go. That's my first place built. Yay! So we're going to need to extend the playground to be able to fit any more items in. So let's extend out. See, I want to extend the playground to fit the items that I'm going to build. I don't want to risk it being too big. And also we're going to run out of space at some point, so once we run out of space that will be the playground finished, and then we'll know how much space we've got for the car park area that we're going to build for our maybe a hotel and a car park at the end to link in to the holiday vacation spot at the edge of town. So we can say that it's a bit of a tourist place, this town, so it's got a little bit of an extra income source by doing that. And then the playground being in the location where it is, it's quite close to the shopping district, so people who are shopping and stuff can take their kids to the playground, and it's also close to the more leisure-based facilities of the beach at the edge of town. So building one playground is now multi-purpose for residents and visitors alike. Right, so I think this space here, I think we could perhaps add us a... Oh no, because it's got wet. No! Oh dear, because it's got wet, it's now turned into solid, hasn't it? Don't want it to get too wet, do we, and become something solid. I don't want it to become wet and as soon as it becomes wet, then it turns into not what we were hoping for from our playground, does it? So I'm just trying to see how much space we've got here for the building. I'm really tempted to put in a sand pit. I know we're right next to a beach. And I'm also tempted to put in swings right on the seafront so that you can swing out and feel like you're almost swinging over the sea itself. So I'm just going to place a bit more of the red concrete powder as our playground surface, just to extend our space out a little bit. Now we can sort of see where we've got to. Now, do we want to go further than that? We could perhaps go one further, but if we do go one further, do we need it? Right, let's think about this. How big of space do we want for a sand pit? So I think we should leave, the fence is going to be a fence, so I think you're going to need at least one block space, and then we're going to want an edge, aren't we, for the sand pit? What would we make the sand pit edge? I think we would make it out of some sort of wood, and we've just used the we've just used the oak, haven't we? Can we use it? Let's use the stripped oak, shall we, for the edge of the sand pit. Right, so do I just leave one round the edge of the sandpit? Yeah, I think one's enough, isn't it? And then the sandpit itself is going to have to be at least 3 in the centre, isn't it? I think it'll be at least 3. And we're going to use the yellow, like I said in the last episode, I think the yellow would be really great for the sandpit. Now, is that big enough? I kind of like that, because if I make it much bigger, it's going to be getting a little bit too close If I make it 4, is that too big? Is that too close? Oh, no, I think 1, 2. Four by 4. That might work actually. 4 by 4 might work. Let's try this. So then we want to run the wood all the way around, and then we've still got 2 blocks space next to the seesaw, so I think that is actually going to work. I know you're saying sandpit right next to the sea, Kitty, where you've already got sand. Well, I know that might sound a little bit odd, but not every park's going to be next to the beach like mine is. So yeah, so you could build it 3 by 3 with the sand and then use whichever sort of wood or even a concrete or something around the edge to make it more decorative. And you can use whatever colour sand you want for your sandpit, but I've made mine 4 by 4, so you could go just make them a square, or you can even make them a rectangle. Just play around with the sides and dimensions until you get what you want. And then of course don't forget to continue to run your fencing around the edge of the playground, especially when we're next to water. We want the parents to feel absolutely safe and secure, and that their children are not going to get out of the playground without them knowing about it. They're going to have to run through the gates, which is right next to where the strategically placed parental units can be seated, watching the kids play. So the kids would physically have to run past all the parents in order to get out of the gate. And we will put a gate further in at the other end later on. So there is my first part of my build for my playground. We've added ourselves a seesaw, some seating for the parents, and a beautiful sand pit. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. From SoftKitty99, goodbye and happy gaming!